Hi, I'm Yael Cassander.
And I'm Don Glass.
And we host A Moment of Science.
For more than 20 years, A Moment of Science has been taking an entertaining look at the science behind some of life's most perplexing questions.
In just 2 minutes, you get a look at the fascinating world around us and beyond.
We hope you'll tune in.
For more information about A Moment of Science or to download our latest podcasts, visit us at amomentofscience.org.
Listen weekday afternoons at 5:45 on KSJE. KSJE is a listener-supported radio station licensed to San Juan College in Farmington, New Mexico. We're thrilled to be able to offer new, innovative, and unique programming. But we need your help. See all the ways you can support KSJE by going to our website at ksje.com/support. This is 90.9 FM, KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hales-Vass, writer, retired professor of creative writing, and founder of One Book, One Community. I now host Right on Four Corners every Wednesday, 10:30 to 11, when I'll talk to local and regional authors. So please join me Wednesdays here on 90.9 FM, KSJE, Farmington.
This program is supported by San Juan Health Partners Urology, providing a wide range of personalized services for the whole family, including children. Our caring professionals are dedicated to helping meet your urology health needs with skill, experience, and service you need. For a complete listing of our services and to learn more, visit sanjuanhealthpartners.com or call 505-609-6300. San Juan Health Partners Urology, a division of San Juan Regional Medical Center. (8:35) on KSJE. You're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. 48 degrees outside our studios here at San Juan College at the moment. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 2 miles per hour. And our weather forecast, we are expecting some showers this morning, partly cloudy skies all day today, maybe less chance for rain this afternoon. 63 for a high in Farmington today. Clear and 38 overnight, maybe some patchy fog overnight tonight on into Thursday morning, with partly sunny skies tomorrow. Again, 64 for a high, 37 overnight. Then sunshine returns for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and warming temperatures, 65 on Friday, going up to near 70 for Saturday and Sunday, with, again, overnight lows right around 40 degrees. Continue our coverage in front of the 2018 general election coming up in November. We are talking about some of the bond issues and bond questions will be asked on the ballot. Joining me here in our studio is Gayle Dean from the San Juan College Foundation. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Also, Christopher Schipper is here from the San Juan College Library. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here, both of you. And the two of you have a vested interest, I think, in the bond issues that we are going to be talking about this morning. 2 of the 4 that folks will be seeing on the ballot. And Gayle, let me start with you because bond issue, it is D.
Bond D.
Is what you're here to talk to me a little bit about higher education, right?
Absolutely. This is, I think that everybody in our state has a vested interest in these bonds, Scott. And if Bond D is successful, it would generate over $128 million to be used at institutions of higher learning across our state.
Okay.
This would generate approximately 1,300 new jobs. So for economic development,
right.
It's a good thing all the way around. It's going to make sure that the students, higher ed students in the state of New Mexico, have the best situation that we can possibly give them, and that's very, very important to us. San Juan County stands to receive $5,520,000 if this bond is successful.
Okay.
$520,000 goes to San Juan College, and we will use it for much-needed restroom renovations as well as to complete our fire tower project.
Got it. Right.
$5 million will go to Dene College, and they have some very important building projects coming up.
But so this bond would help both institutions here in San Juan County.
Both institutions and our entire county.
Very good. And of course, it will help schools across the state, of course, as well, if the voters approve this in November. I know it's always said that there's no increase in taxes because this is a renewal of a previous bond.
I'd like to address that, and I'm glad you brought it up, Scott. If this bond is successful, there will be no raise in taxes. I like to qualify that to all of our listeners that if it went off, your taxes might go down a bit.
Right.
I don't want to mislead anybody. It would be a small amount, but I do want you to know that. But if it passes, everything stays exactly the same, and there is no raise to our taxes.
Okay, very good. And let me turn to Chris Schipper to ask him a little bit about the other bond issue that we're talking about, bond issue B, bond general obligation bond B for books, which means libraries, and that's where you come in.
Right. We typically think of it as bond B for books. We've been lucky to have it be bond B over the past few cycles. And if this bond passes, libraries in the state would receive over $12 million, and then the way that's apportioned is by library type. So academic libraries would receive $4 million, the public libraries in the state $4 million, the school libraries $4 million, and then the tribal libraries $750,000. The amount that our own library would receive would be over $93,000. And then the amount that actually would come back into San Juan County is over $569,000. So it's incredibly important funds for really all of the libraries here in New Mexico.
Sure. And that money is used how? For example, in the San Juan College Library, how would you use those dollars?
So in our own library, I use it primarily for books, and that's how we're able to put books on our shelf.
Okay. Is
actually exactly with these funds. There are other uses that are permitted, but it's pretty narrowly laid out, the acceptable uses for these funds. We can use them, for instance, for database subscriptions.
Right.
And we do that to a smaller extent I do that to a smaller extent because it's a recurring expense, and this is a 2-year bond, then it's subject to approval by voters every 2 years. So.
Sure. And so I know you probably want to have a more stable revenue source, I guess, maybe for some ongoing expenses and things like that when you're building your budget.
My preference is to use these funds from the bond for one-time purchases. So with books, as a perfect example, it's something we can put on the shelf and we own it.
And for a college library, it's so important to have the latest
Yes,
issues of books and things on the shelves and not just keep stuff that have been around for 20 years?
That's exactly right. That's a really incredibly important point about libraries. For libraries now to be useful, we have to constantly add material.
Right.
And if the material's not up to date, then we're no longer useful to our students.
Sure. And so again, this is going to help not only the San Juan College Library, but also school libraries throughout the county.
Right, as well as public and tribal libraries.
And the public and tribal libraries, too. Right. And so, and we've seen, of course, the good work that they do, the Farmington Public Library, the Bloomfield Library, the Aztec Public Library, these are all libraries that would benefit.
Absolutely. And some of the libraries, the especially small libraries in the state, honestly just live or die by the funds that they receive from these bonds. They couldn't be more essential.
Right. And again, they're not as dependent then maybe on support from the community or other sources of revenue because, again, these are free services that these communities really, I think, appreciate, especially even smaller communities. If you don't have access to other resources, these libraries are the lifeblood.
Yeah, that's right. I'm active with some statewide library organizations and interact with people who work in libraries where they have a staff of one, and sometimes that staff is a volunteer, and their operational budget is essentially nothing. So the Go Bond funds couldn't be more important.
And again, because it's split among the entire state, and the entire state is helping to pay for these bond monies, it doesn't fall just on the communities to support their libraries if maybe they don't have the resources to do that at a level that we would like to see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And as Gayle had mentioned, the tax issue with ours, it's based on property tax valuation. People always ask, and it's true, taxes would not go up if this bond passes.
Same for this one.
It's same for this one, and in this case, it's because bonds from 10 years ago are being retired. And people still ask me periodically, yes, but how does this work? How is it paid for? And it's based on property valuation. So for properties that are worth $100,000, Bond B would cost those property owners 75 cents for an entire year. So it's less than the price of a cup of coffee that does a world of good for the libraries here in New Mexico.
Let me just let that sink in for just a moment, because that amount is so small. 75 cents a year is what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay. And it's not going up. We're already paying that 75 cents a year. So
that's right.
It wouldn't change at all with the approval of this bond. Gayle?
I would like to add one thing,
You bet,
Scott,
of course.
and that is that this is a non-presidential election year, of course, and the turnout is always lower. We know that, and a lower turnout is detrimental to bonds. We always do better in the presidential years. I think what happens is a lot of the people that just think it's going to, no, that'll pass, and they would vote yes, they stay home. So please, please be our ambassadors and talk about these bonds. Bond B and Bond D are incredibly important to our community, to our state. Some important dates to remember.
Okay.
Absentee voting began on October 9th.
Underway now.
Early voting, October 20th, and the election, November 6th, 7 to 7.
Okay. Very good information. And again, I'm not sure if turnout's going to be low this year. There's a lot of talk about some of these off-year races with even in a non-presidential year, but you don't want to leave it to chance. I understand what you're saying.
And we don't want, the higher the turnout, the better for bonds.
Gotcha.
The higher the turnout, the better for everybody. Please, please exercise your right to vote. It's such a privilege.
We can always all agree on that, for sure. Everyone should get out and vote. And Chris Schipper, I just want to ask you again about the importance of libraries in our society today, because I know a lot of folks may feel, well, everything's online. I just need my computer and I can access everything, can't I? Why do we still need libraries? But we need the libraries, and I think more importantly, we need the people in these libraries to direct us to the right resources, because the internet's a great thing, but there's just so much of everything, and I really need help to focus.
I love a good softball question. That was great. No, and that's what you're talking about is a persistent rumor that I try to stamp out whenever possible. The internet is not a library, and particularly on an academic campus where we support the curriculum and we support all the different programs here on the campus. We need material that's not freely available on the internet in order to do that, and it costs a great deal of money. So this is very helpful in that regard. Libraries have I can speak, of course, most directly for our own library, but we've never been busier. I actually brought along a number that I'd love to share.
Sure.
So since the start of the fall semester in August 20th, we've had 26,962 people visit our library. So we are in high use. We're a high demand, high use facility and resource.
Right. Well, and again, I think it's the staff, too, that really helps direct our students and even our staff to the right resources, so they're not just kind of blindly roaming the corridors and the shelves looking for the materials they need. It's the professional staff that really can help save a lot of time and effort.
Thank you. We hope so.
Right. I think that's true. And Gayle Dean, again, higher education in New Mexico. We always hear about the opportunities for folks who go on and continue their education with an advanced degree. It offers more lifetime earning potential and things like that. And this other bond is something that helps to continue that for our higher education institutions across our state.
Keeps our institutions of higher learning across our state able to offer more and more top-notch opportunities to our students.
And we know the community here, I think, cherishes and certainly respects and uses San Juan College a lot, from the recreational opportunities, the fitness opportunities, the informational opportunities, in addition to just coming and taking a class or getting that degree.
I think there is no question about it that San Juan College stands at the heart of this community. There's hardly anybody in this community whose life is not enriched because San Juan College is here.
Very true. Well, thank you both for coming in this morning. Chris, one more thing?
I was just going to mention there are a surprising number of people from our community who don't realize that they are able to come to campus and use our library facility. If they have valid ID, we will issue them a library card and they're able to borrow material from us. We are set up to serve not only the campus, but the community as well.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, that's
a good reminder.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times the resources here at San Juan College are made available to community members at large and not just the campus community. So it's always worth repeating.
And anybody who has not come by to see Scott's new digs here at San Juan College,
Thank you.
It is just fabulous. Please come by and see it. It's just a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for coming in and sharing this important information. Again, the election is coming up, so we hope folks will get out and vote. That is the most important thing. So, very good. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
You're very welcome. My guests here talking about the general obligation bonds coming up in November here on KSJE.